I've been running from the pain, trying not to feel the same, but it's a shame.
Hey everyone, I'm back here filming another video today for you. So different background today as I'm currently at my boyfriend's due to the coronavirus lockdown. So we are currently staying at his house, keeping everything separate like we're meant to and like some people aren't, unfortunately, but you know, we can only do our best. So today I am back with a video. I know it's been a long time since I filmed and I'm so sorry. I've been so busy with assignments and catching up on work, but now I've got a bit of more free time. I thought I should film a video for you again. So today I'm filming a video to my favourite things that I take to university or have to help me with my university. My degree, which most of you will know, is children's nursing. So I get asked this a lot on my nursing Instagram, and I get asked most weeks, what do you recommend? I'm starting next year, what do you recommend? Please give me some tips. So I thought, why not summarise this in one video for you? So first thing I'm going to start with is, I'll go with this one. So I take my MacBook Air to university with me every single day. I think it's really important for me to have a laptop. I mean, most universities are different, but my university is solely, well, it's not solely online, but we use a lot of online resources and systems. So our main virtual learning thing, which we can access all our PowerPoints and lecture slides and assignment deadlines and what have you, all on what we call Blackboard, which is our learning environment. So for us, they say it's quite essential for us to have a laptop or have access to a computer at home. So for me, I have a MacBook. I did used to have a Windows laptop, but they weren't really for me. I mean, since switching to MacBook, I don't think I'll ever switch back. I love this. It's so easy to use. It links to my iPad, links to my iPhone. Everything can just be synced between them, so it's nice and easy. On here, I would recommend, the main thing I would say is get Microsoft Word. Most universities will give you access via your login with your student email, and I think that's so important because you can write your assignments on it, do your notes on it, make whatever else you want to do on it. So yeah, I would recommend a laptop, a MacBook, a desktop computer, whatever works for you really. I have an iPad, which I love, and I'm so glad I did invest in one. I use this mainly for like handwritten notes, so I'll talk in maybe another video about how I make my notes, but I often will type notes and then go back over and use my iPad because I don't like to write on paper. I hate it, I absolutely hate it, but things sink in better when I write them. So I invested probably 6 months ago now in an iPad, and I also got the Apple Pencil with it because a lot of people have recommended that it's so much nicer to write, and I can fully vouch for the fact that it's just like writing on paper better.
Budgie!
Oh, you interrupted my video.
Miss Molly. Fine, I'll leave you to it.
So yeah, I would fully vouch for people who say get an iPad with an Apple Pencil. People say they're a waste of money, but personally I've used it loads so far. So I use it for doodling on as well, and it's massive. It helps me massively, like as a de-stress thing, because I find it, I love like getting creative bits out and what have you, but I find it such a faff to then tidy it all away, and when you've only got half an hour, you want to just get on with something. You don't want to be faffing around. So the thing I've been doing at the minute is I use Adobe Procreate anyway. I paid for that because it was a really nice app to do some like mindfulness stuff on, and I really enjoy doing like calligraphy and all that sort of artsy stuff. But I've also been getting into doing some drawing, so this was my latest. I did a heart diagram last night. There we go. I was very proud of that one. That was my best so far. But yeah, so I use Procreate to do my doodling, but for more university related. If you didn't want to get a laptop, an iPad would be possibly a cheaper alternative. Obviously you have the free note-taking app on it anyway, but I did pay for an upgraded, where is it? I can't find it. So I paid for GoodNotes, which is a note-taking app, but is a lot better for use with the Apple Pencil basically. So looks like that. And I did pay for, I think it was about £5, but so worth it. Think how many notebooks you would normally buy. Probably going to save yourself some money in the long run. Another technical thing I did buy, oh, I will just mention, none of these technical things are essential. The only thing I would say is have access to a computer wherever at home, because you will benefit from that when you're writing your assignments. You don't have to go and sit in the library. You'd probably prefer to sit at home. But the iPad and what I'm going to talk about next aren't essential, but they're just what I personally couldn't go without now. So another thing I have headphones. So these are my Beats. I got these at the similar sort of time that I got my MacBook. And actually these are so good when you're writing assignments and you want peace and quiet and you don't want to get distracted, whether that's in the library or at home or wherever. These completely block out most noise. Like, people have to shout at me to get my attention. So if you want to be productive, get yourself a pair of over-ear headphones. Another thing I also have my AirPods. So these are quite nice to just chuck in your ears if you're walking between lectures or to and from your car when you go into uni. And they're just a nice, like, the size difference, these just slot into your bag dead easy. So yeah, if you want something to help you not get distracted so easily, like me, I'd recommend a pair of headphones. This is my university bag. It's really loud, I'm really sorry if it messes up the mic. But this is what I take to university every day. This is what I keep all my things in. I normally would also take like a tote bag with me, which I've not got here. But this is my university bag anyway. So this was from Topshop. I think it was about £30, but then I got a student discount. Getting those deals every day. But yeah, so it is really noisy. I'm really sorry if this picks up on camera. Try and be as quiet as I can. So I love this. It's black, it's got like a velvet panel on it, got some stud detail. And then the reason I liked it so much was it's got a shoulder strap, so you can just chuck it over your shoulder like that. Or it's also got a long strap, so you've got a choice. So this one also clips on and off, which is really useful. But this is, I find, really good if it's really heavy. If I've got a lot of books and stuff in it, it just takes the weight off me a little bit more. I know a lot of people use backpacks, and a lot of people have said, oh, why don't you have a backpack, you'll get a bad bag. But for me, this is just so easy to just chuck things in and out. I don't have to faff around getting it off my back, you know. I just prefer handbags, really. Who knows, I might get a backpack next year, but we'll see. For now, this is doing its job. The only thing I am having issues with is when it rains, everything gets wet, so I'm having to get really waterproof folders for it, which is becoming a pain, but hey ho. Oh, another thing to do with the bag is my laptop, and everything I use fits perfectly within it. I mean, I think it's like it says it's like A4 size, but I've had no issues fitting everything in. The only thing I do is put my like heavy textbooks in a tote bag so it doesn't take so much strain on the bag. Another thing to do with taking to and from university, I would recommend getting like a big water bottle. This one's mine, so currently drinking. Keep hydrated, guys, you know, it's so important, especially with all this COVID stuff. But yeah, so this is mine. It says living, don't fix on me, fix on that, living my best life on it in gold. It's got some pink top. This was from Typo, I believe, and it holds a litre, so really good. I love ones with a straw and a sippy bit, because I just think I'd drink more from them. I don't know why, I don't know if it's psychological, but whatever. I can't remember how much this was. I don't think it's probably about £7 max, I would say. I don't tend to splash out on water bottles. Oh yeah, relating to the water bottle, get yourself a good travel mug, because trust me, you'll benefit from that when you're driving to uni, travelling to uni, whatever, however you get there. Because I promise you, at 9 AM when you've got a lecture and you're sat there dying because it's so early, you'll benefit from having a coffee, trust me. The next thing I would recommend is a pencil case. So this is mine, this is what I take every day to uni. I don't tend to write on paper, but I have a pencil case just in case. But I tend to prefer like typed or on my iPad, like digital notes. I just think they work so much better for me. I think it benefits me more. But yeah, this pencil case is again from Typo. It's marble black, and it's got like a mirrored silver bit at the top. It's 3 compartments, so in the first compartment I keep mostly felt tip, my highlighters. Absolutely love these, that's another thing I'd recommend. Get yourself some good highlighters. Get yourself some of these. These are something I recently picked up. I didn't think I'd ever use these. I used to like just sticking them everywhere, but these have actually become really useful. When I've had all my textbooks out trying to find references for my most recent assignment, they were so useful because you end up scribbling down all these page numbers and you end up losing them all, whereas if you just stick a post-it index marker thing in them, you can just flick straight back to it. So yeah, get yourself a good pencil case, whether it's a small one, big one, whatever. Just get what you like to keep in yours, and yeah, keep it in your uni bag just in case. The next thing I have was a planner. So this is one from the Happy Planner company. So one of my friends got me this for my birthday last year, and the Happy Planner company do a lot of stuff which is orientated for midwifery, nursing, paramedic, qualified staff, and basically they just like are so nicely designed planners. So on the front you can get a different variety. So mine just says nursing student, it's got a heart on it. We can get ones that say children's nursing student, paramedic student, whatever else. But yeah, within the book it's got a lot of nice medical abbreviations, pages, got lots of monthly planners. This was an example of my week a couple of weeks ago. So you've got, let me show you an empty one. So on one side you've got your, what does that say, daily activities, and it's got all the dates along the side. And then on the other side it says home life and to do, like so. Within here as well it's got loads of like budgeting bits, stuff to do with nursing, to-do list sections, placement hour bit, I don't know, placement log, whatever you want to call it. But then a bit I really love as well, they have a wipe clean couple of pages. So that one's a meal planner, so for all you students out there who are either parents and have to plan your whole lives, or whether you recently moved out and need to be more strict with your planning. And then another bit is a revision timetable, which is wipe clean, which I guess could be really useful. Then it also comes with a load of stickers. So there's new skill deadline, meeting, exercise, party, big day, and library books. So they're just really useful if you don't want to just write loads of stuff in. I like to highlight and stick things in my planner. So they're really nice. It also has the elastic, which is really handy because I keep a lot of loose paper of appointments and random bits like that in there. So I'm now going to talk about all the book related things I would recommend. I get lots of questions asking me what I would recommend regarding textbooks, because some people say don't get any till you start, but for me I went a bit over the top and got everything and anything. I got most of mine secondhand because you can end up spending like £40 per textbook if you're not careful, and it's just not worth it, when in fact most of mine are as good as new, or they might be used but they're still pretty good condition. So I think it's important to have a look on places like Wordery and Abbi Books, I think was another one I used, and also look on Amazon and eBay. And a massive thing I used as well was Facebook Marketplace. And the first thing I would recommend for any new nursing students would be a good anatomy textbook. So the one that most unis will recommend is a Ross and Wilson anatomy book. So this is basically based on our whole anatomy modules. They're all based on this book really. There are plenty of options you can get. I think there's like a Netter's book, a Porth is another one that they recommend to us, but you have to find the one that's right for you. I mean, a lot of people say Ross and Wilson, and most people will eventually get this one. And for me, this is the one that I would recommend to anyone watching this. I have the 10th edition. I can also access the most recent one via uni online, which for me, I don't really do because I've got the paper one and there is literally no differences. There might be like the odd sentence that's switched around and used different words and what have you, but it's literally got the same information in. I mean, how much does anatomy change once it's discovered? It's discovered. Not much more than that, is there? I'd say don't get the most recent edition if you can't afford it, whatever. I mean, I think I probably paid about £10 for this one, so it's really affordable, and this will last you probably your whole career. Like, it's so useful. So yeah, get yourself a good anatomy textbook. To go alongside that though, I also use my old A-level biology book because I absolutely love this book. I swore by this through my A-levels. I couldn't have got the grade I did without this, I don't think. This was such nice summaries, such nice diagrams, and whatever. So if you found a book when you did your A-levels, access course, whatever, that you found useful, don't get rid of it because I'm sure it will come in useful again. If you're doing children's nursing, obviously a lot of the anatomy is based on adults, which for us is important because it's the basics of it, but I think it's also important to get an idea of the children's side of anatomy, because in babies and like fetal, if you plan on being a neonatal nurse, like what I hopefully want to be in a few years time. It's important to get an understanding of how everything develops, and you know, people aren't just born and that's it, their organs are the size they are, they don't work the way they are, like hearts change, everything changes. So it's important to have an understanding of that and understanding of disorders and what have you that can affect the children. So this book I absolutely love. This is Fundamentals of Children's Anatomy and Physiology. So this is very similar to Ross and Wilson. I'd say it doesn't go as in depth in the anatomy side of stuff. So, I mean, they're very similar sizes, but this one's got more like children's disorders in it. So yeah, that's really good and useful if you're a student children's nurse. And then the next two things aren't essential, but they're things I have recently, one of the things I've recently purchased. This one I've had for a while, I've just not really used it yet. But people say that it's important to get things that will benefit you as you're revising for your exams or assignments or whatever else. And obviously, if you're going to be a nurse, you need to know your anatomy, especially if you're planning years down the line to go into a more specialist route or a practitioner route. Like, again, I want to do that in many years to come. So I think get your basics of anatomy down to a T, and then everything else will just follow. But yeah, I bought this. I've got a couple of these, but I've only got this one with me. But this is the Netter's Anatomy Colouring Book. Now everyone would think, oh, a colouring book, what's that? But this is so good. It's got nice little descriptions. Let me find a nice diagram, there we go. So that's got some joints of radio ulnar joints, there we go. So, and it's just like a nice colour key code. Just an alternative to just reading and writing, I guess. It just might help some people get information to sink in. So yeah, I would recommend a good colouring book for anatomy if you don't learn well by just reading and writing. Another thing I'm going to talk about, I've only recently bought these, but oh my god, I 100% recommend them. If you're a person that can't just read a textbook and you just like short pieces of information and a couple of nice diagrams, get yourself some of these. These are off Amazon. These were Anatomy and Physiology flashcards. They're by Scientific Publishing. I'll try and find all these things and link them below. These are so good. They've got 335 flashcards, which are divided into all of the systems. And again, it's probably mostly adult based, but these have lovely like coloured headings in them, so you can flick to a section and find it dead easy, and they come in a lovely storage box. I'm going to also mention that I was absolutely shocked at the size of these when they arrived. I thought they were going to be like little tiny flashcards, but let me show you this one for an example. So this is one of the skeletal ones, and so there's the card, there's my hand, so it's like the size of my hand, and I was really shocked because I wasn't expecting them to be the size they are. But they're really nice quality. Like I say, if you can't digest lots of information, get yourself some of these, and these will summarise everything nicely for you. And then the last thing I'm going to recommend, because I've got a lot of textbooks at home. At the end of the day, it's not essential. You can access a lot of textbooks in your university library, but these are just the things that I would really recommend you get for starting university as a first year, second year, whatever. If you need a bit of extra guidance on anatomy, get yourself a couple of these anatomy resources. But this one is a numeracy textbook, so it's only really small. There isn't a massive amount of stuff in here, but it's really useful. So we've just started doing all our drugs calculations, and so far it's been really helpful for me, because I find division really hard. Give me a random number and I struggle to divide it. So I've been working through here recently, and I've also been using Safe Medicate online, which our university doesn't pay for, which is so annoying because so many universities have access to it. I've done the free trial and I'm debating paying for it because it's really useful. It's like another visual online aid to, you work out the calculation, then you like drag and drop your tablets into the little pot, or you draw up your medicine. So obviously as a nurse, it's so important to get all your drug calculations down to a T really. So it's got all your basic calculations, and it's got calculating drug doses, other clinical calculations. Then it also has some practice tests in the back, like so. Get yourself a couple of drugs calculation books. Like I said, I've got a few more at home, but this one I'd say is the best one I found so far. But I hope that video was useful for you. I get so many questions, so now I'll direct any person that asks me to this video, hopefully. If anyone has any questions or anyone wants to ask me anything regarding any other tips I have, and you know, I might do another video relating to how I take my notes, and I might go a bit more in depth with all that. These are just what I personally have benefited from so far. I mean, I'm only 2 months into my degree, and I mean, we're off now for the foreseeable future thanks to Corona, but you know, can't do anything about that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everyone stays safe and well throughout this horrible time. It is rubbish, but you know, go and sit in the garden, have a few drinks, can't go wrong, eat lots of chocolate, get fat, and then we'll all go back to uni and smash it, hopefully. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.